Hello, you folks out there in PLIP land and YouTube. I want to welcome you to what I consider the greatest interview that I will ever do in my life. I have with me, for you people that are on PLIP, Chuck. I came down here to Iloilo today with my wife and met Chuck, and I'll tell you, he is a most remarkable person. Probably one of the highlights of my life to meet. Chuck was born in Washington, D.C. He attended public schools, and then he received his BA degree from Middlebury College in 1949. He was born in 1922. He then went on and got his law degree from Yale University and became a lawyer for a short time working in California, which later he served as president of the National Association of Advancement of Colored People in Northern California and Nevada. And in 1961 he was appointed Assistant Attorney General of California and served that for a number of years. From then on he had various functions, Deputy Director of the Peace Corps in Ghana and Uganda, and then subsequently he was promoted by President Gerald Ford to become the Ambassador of the United States to Niger. Other features in his life: he's spent his entire life in public service. He's had very many different state functions, and I'd like to welcome you to meeting Chuck.
Thank
Chuck,
you, Jerry.
it's a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure.
Before we get started, I want to give you some grits.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Oh, outstanding.
A friend of mine in Maryland had sent me some grits, and that's why I was talking about grits. It took these grits almost 3 months to arrive from Maryland to our place in Rojas City.
I just want you to know, if you were Susan, I would kiss you.
Well, don't let that stop you. No, I'm just...
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I hope you enjoy.
Oh,
and I'm
I will.
sure Ed in Maryland is laughing at this right now, because Ed, I thank you for sending the grits. It's given me a great opener with Chuck.
I thank you, Ed.
Chuck, on another note, you've been writing now for PLIP and various other groups, but mostly PLIP. A lot of your experiences here in the Philippines, some experiences elsewhere. I believe you came over here a year ago.
November 7th will be 1 year.
November 7th is 1 year.
Right.
I would like to know what made you decide to pick the Philippines versus any other location to, for lack of words, live the final life of your exciting life?
Well, that's a very good question, Jerry. Actually, I stumbled onto the website of Don Harrington, Living in the Philippines. And here he's talking about living on $1,000 a month. Well, my income is bigger than that, but it's fixed income, you know. And I started thinking about this and started researching it. And then I decided, well, I'm here living in this retirement community, which was beginning to feel like a waiting room for the Lord, you know. And even though I was taking pictures and sort of enjoying myself, I hated the fact that all my pictures were ending up on memorial tables, you know. So I decided myself, I will move to the Philippines. I like the thought of island living anyway. From all I read, the people are pretty nice, the culture is good. I have lived in Thailand, I've lived in third world countries, etc., etc. So I'm going to move to the Philippines. So I told my son, and his first reaction was, Dad, how long is it going to take me to talk some sense into you? you know. Well, I was ready for that. I was ready for that. I had done all this research. I gave him a packet of research, and week later he called me and said, "Dad, I have a friend, a colleague at work, who has a Filipino wife, and she says you ought to go to Iloilo because her family would look after you, you know." And then, thanks to my son, who did all the hard labor, I'm here. And he actually brought me here.
And this is your first time in the Philippines, or
Very
have you been
first-
here before?
No, never before. First time.
It's an amazing story. I think, in my opinion, you will find more and more people making the same decision you did, because the culture is marvelous here.
Absolutely.
The weather is great, and it's island living to the maximum
Right,
with the minimum amount of expense.
right.
People sincerely care about you,
They do.
and I think you'll find more and more, not only Americans but other first world countries deciding it's time to leave and let's go
I would
to the
suspect
Philippines.
that would be true, yes. I would think so. If I could be another me, a redesign would be my plea. Not a history shaper, nor a headline maker, but a musical genes caper, not an LA Laker. I would harvest genes of musical giants wherever seen of talent compliant. Let history unfurl. My search is wide throughout the world. Genius can't hide. I will take from Mozart, Ellington too. I will tear apart the human zoo. I would harvest them all. Beethoven and Basie, Tchaikovsky will fall. Find them in Macy, I'll take them all. No, I want to feel good like the master of soul. Have a mellow mood like Nat King Cole. Lord, yes, Bach and his B minor mass. A musical plot for a heavenly class. Give me Gershwin and his Porgy and Bess. Rhapsody in Blue, a genius no less. Find B.B. King, let his Lucille sing. Wagner, I'll pass, doesn't have the ring for this ethereal class. Quincy Jones, Ray Charles too. Horowitz, true giants in this musical zoo. And don't forget Satchmo and his heavenly horn. On his ethereal music, winged angels are born. That's not all. There are many, many more. Each one I will call to my musical store. I want to redesign. The black can say, just recombine in a musical way.